reactive platform of the Core-Tex to preload in one plane, in this case the sagittal plane, the posterior hip, and then from there we use the motions of the platform to stress the other planes, which in turn continues to stimulate the tissue of the hip, both from a neurological standpoint, from stability standpoint, as well as an ability to kind of find some variability in how it's going to need to contract. We're also going to add some very positive stress to the knee joint and how well it controls rotation, because we're going to have to accelerate, decelerate, and then re-accelerate the platform. Now, one of the things that's not obvious with what's going on here is the Core-Tex platform is actually top heavy. So what that means is there's a greater moment of inertia to get it going. But then of course, once it gets going, we've got that massive momentum that's continuing to move that it becomes something that we really have to decelerate and then re-accelerate with some effort. So what you'll see me do now is I'm going to take my I'm going to use my left side to the camera, and I'm going to put this right in the center of the platform. Now I'm going to use this little step behind me, because what I want to do is I want to transfer as much of my weight onto this leg as possible. So I'm at least 80 to 90% of my load is here, and I do that by getting that back foot up and kind of really making it a requirement that I get onto this. Now I'm going to preload the sagittal plane because I'm flexed at the hip. I'm going to anchor my upper body here, and I'm going to reach across my body, therefore creating a little bit more internal rotation here. So you can see I've done a lot of preloading onto this hip right now, and I can feel it. But once I'm here, now I have the option of kind of rotating the platform with that acceleration and deceleration as I was talking about. I can further enhance the sagittal plane. I can emphasize the frontal plane. And all of this with that preload that I place on it by the positioning I put my torso both in the sagittal plane and add a little transverse plane motion by getting that rib cage to turn. So the cueing that I want to do with my patient or with my client is, what am I trying to achieve with the hip? I can let them just spin it, and at that time, again, you can see that there's going to be some positive stress on the tissue. So can I build that resiliency into that knee to handle that multiple vectors in which stress will come upon my knee in any kind of athletic event? Am I doing it because I really want to trigger the glute and hit multiple motor unit pull recruitments that I'm traditionally not going to get in a predictable environment? I might do that too. And do I want to emphasize a specific plane of motion as I'm moving through it at the same time? So having those opportunities with what the platform does means that we can get after certain aspects of both the tissue and the joints and the recruitment neurologically that are difficult to do otherwise, and we let the platform do the work for us.